Coming up on OU Nightly, chemicals found in the OU duck pond and the effects on local wildlife. Plus, a fountain on campus is damaged beyond repair. We have reactions from students. And a new report shows Norman's air quality is poor. Find out what city officials are saying. This is OU Nightly. An OU professor is raising concerns after he says dangerous chemicals were found in the duck pond. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Clay Webster.
And I'm Kariana Gamboa. OU Nightly's Gracie Steinbrink spoke with the professor and joins us live at the pond. Gracie, what have you found?
Behind me is the duck pond on campus, where it's a whole ecosystem of geese, birds, ducks, turtles, frogs, and more than that. And what happened the other day may be putting them at risk. It all started when an OU geography and environmental sustainability student found the water in the duck pond looked murky. After reaching out to a professor in the department and doing some tests, they discovered chlorine and cyanuric acid in the pond, chemicals you would likely only find in a swimming pool. They say this suggests someone may be dumping backwash from their pool filter where they shouldn't be.
The scary part is that 2 days ago, the chlorine levels were 10 times what is safe for exposure in a freshwater ecosystem. And even this morning, they are still above that level.
OU professor Trey Lee tells us what he thinks this means for the wildlife.
Anything with gills, it's going to be really irritating them. And anything that's in an egg or the baby ducklings, baby turtles, they'll likely start seeing some health consequences as a result.
The Department of Environmental Equality is investigating the who and the why, but experts say anyone can speak up to prevent these things from happening.
We are so fortunate to have a green space like this on campus within walking distance of so many places. I would just encourage people to always observe the natural environment around them. Sometimes these issues happen and then we totally miss it. If you ever notice anything that's even slightly off, find somebody who is nearby and might be an expert, or at least connect you to the experts, so that way these things don't go completely unnoticed.
Now, there's maps on the City of Norman website if you are curious where your own water is going. That website should be on your screen. Reporting from the duck pond, Gracie Steinbrink, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Gracie. And a fountain in the engineering quad was recently damaged beyond repair. OU Nightly reporter Sky Clausen has student reactions to the loss of this campus staple.
This fountain used to be flowing, a centerpiece of the engineering quad, but now it's not. I talked to some OU students about what happened. Here's what they had to say. This past weekend, a scenic staple on OU's campus was destroyed. This fountain on the engineering quad was originally put up in 1997 and was recently replaced last summer. OU's facilities management said the damages were beyond repair and the replacement is expected to cost between $10,000 and $15,000. Students I spoke with were not only shocked, but disappointed at the destruction.
Pretty shocked because I feel like everybody likes the fountain, so I don't know who would do that.
I think it's kind of disrespectful to the community and to the area, especially that people think that they can just destroy fountains and all that, especially because it didn't come out of our tuition.
It definitely ruins the aesthetic of the whole quad as a whole, because walking by, that's definitely one of the most prominent features, so it not being there kind of feels a little bit empty.
I've reached out to OUPD for a comment on the situation and information about the investigation. I've not yet heard back, but we will continue to keep you updated as this story continues. From the engineering quad, I'm Sky Clausen, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Sky. Well, temperatures have started to warm up over the last couple days.
Luckily, OU Nightly meteorologist Carlin McCrary joins us live outside with a look at current conditions. Carlin.
Yeah, you guys, it is a beautiful day out here on the South Oval, a beautiful Friday out there. We've actually had temperatures in the upper 60s as we've continued throughout the afternoon. You can see we do have some breaks in the clouds. That's what's allowed those temperatures to warm up a few degrees. We even have some light winds out of the north that we're dealing with this afternoon. But one thing that you can't see are those allergies. Y'all, they're in the higher end, especially for trees and grass. Be sure to keep that in mind as we continue throughout the weekend. We're gonna have a beautiful weekend ahead. And my good friend, Chief Meteorologist for OU Nightly, Nightly. Aiden Brett's going to have a lot more coming up. But for now, for the last time, Carlin McCreary, OU Nightly.
Thanks so much, Carlin. Now, the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office and Moore Police Department announced a DUI checkpoint Friday. The checkpoint was originally scheduled for April 17th, but was delayed due to threats of severe weather. Moore Police say the checkpoint will be in Moore city limits, and Norman Police say they will not be involved in Friday's checkpoint.
The Norman Police Department is asking for your help finding these men. Police say the men here on your screen made purchases at a local Walmart with stolen funds. If you or anyone you know recognize these men, you are asked to call the Norman Police Department or submit an anonymous tip online.
And the American Lung Association has released its annual State of the Air report. The report grades Cleveland County an F for high ozone days, meaning residents' health may be at risk due to the air they breathe. City officials say they are taking measures to reduce emissions and encourage alternative fuel sources. And in national news, President Trump says negotiations with Iran are stagnant. Shannon Moss has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
We begin in Washington, where President Trump says he's disappointed with Iran's ongoing negotiation. Iran proposed a new ceasefire deal, and President Trump wasn't impressed.
They've got to come up with the right deal. At this moment, I'm not satisfied with what they're doing.
We are not yet clear on the details of the offer made. The redistricting battle continues, and now Alabama is joining in. Today, Governor Kay Ivey said a legislative session will begin Monday. This will allow Alabama to change the U.S. House map before midterm elections in November. President Trump is now pressuring other states into redistricting to maintain control within divided House of Representatives. May Day protests kick off today all around the world. Here we are seeing North Carolina kids and teachers protesting for kids over corporations nationwide. The rallies ask for higher teacher pay, more investment within the schools, and protection for all workers' rights. Kiriana, Clay, back to you.
Thanks, Shayna. And still ahead, a new bill could permanently ban phones from Oklahoma schools.
See where that bill sits on Capitol Hill and concerns from students and teachers after the break.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. You're taking a look at the final stock market data as the market closes for the week. The NASDAQ index and S&P 500 closing at record highs today, with the Dow Jones closing in the red.
Now, Oklahoma's school cell phone ban was set to become optional for districts this year, but now a bill on the governor's desk could change that.
OU Nightly's Gracie Steinbrink has what faculty and students have to say. Gracie.
A bill that would ban cell phones in Oklahoma schools permanently sits on Governor Kevin Stitt's desk. It's been almost 1 year of no phones in school for Oklahoma students, and now there may be many more years to come. Norman Public Schools and principals in the district say they're ready for this to be set in stone.
It gives districts that autonomy to enforce it how it's best for them. And I think it's helped having everybody kind of have that united front. Like, we know what's best for kids in learning, and it doesn't include being on a cell phone all day.
Principal of Alcott Middle School, Tracy Kay, says she's seen a positive change in her students' academic and social skills.
You can hear it when you walk in, not just to a classroom, but you can walk into the cafeteria and you can see kids are interacting with one another.
We spoke with those who are impacted the most, the students, to see what they think about a ban that affects every school day.
It was weird initially. It got a lot better as we kind of realized the benefits of it outweigh not being able to have your phone.
There are a lot of benefits. I would think that they need to alter the rules though, let kids at least have it during passing period. I feel like a lot of miscommunication happens. However, it is beneficial with people paying attention and less drama going around.
But even with positive feedback, these same students have concerns. They hope Oklahoma legislators will take their opinions into consideration, not asking to get rid of the ban, just to make some small changes.
And leave it up more to the teachers. I think the best thing is that the teachers have the authority to tell kids to stop.
Reporting for OU Nightly, Gracie Steinbrink.
Thanks, Gracie. And still to come, your favorite Goose family on campus has some new additions.
Their new names that will have you feeling kind of like a silly goose up next.
And we've got a beautiful weekend ahead. I'll let you know how much we're going to be warming up heading into next week after the break.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly, everyone, and happy first day of May. But before we jump into your forecast for the coming month and this weekend, I do want to talk about how active April was. I mean, just check this out. We had 27 tornadoes in the state of Oklahoma as a whole in April, but our average was about 12.5 from past years. But that's just, it's very crazy that it's just been so active and a lot of damage has occurred. So it's just a very serious thing to consider for how active that month was. But rainfall and our temperatures were pretty on average for us. That 4.4 inches of rain definitely helped with our drought conditions. We have lightened up on that half of things. But looking at current conditions outside, we are pretty nice. Lots of clear skies through Oklahoma, but the rain is down to southeastern Texas and parts of the Texas Panhandle. But we are staying dry here, so that's some good news for us. Temperature-wise, we are on the warmer side compared to the last few days. 68 degrees in Oklahoma City as well as Norman. Lots of 60s in the metro state, seeing a pretty similar story. We're just a little bit cooler out here in the Panhandle. Guyman saying at 56 degrees at the moment. But as you head out the door tomorrow, here's what you need to know. It's going to be a little bit cooler in the morning like it has been the last few days. 50 degrees at 8 a.m., but we do see the 70s by the afternoon. So some good conditions there. Should be a little bit warmer. We're getting back into that spring-like pattern as we kickstart May 2nd for you. But here's your national forecast heading into this weekend. A few rain chances do arrive for Saturday morning. They're very isolated, very low chances. I'm not really expecting much, but just keep an eye on that. These two high pressure systems are going to keep us pretty dry throughout the rest of the week. And this cold front here is going to dodge us to the east. So again, we stay dry. It's
It's this cold front coming through into Tuesday that brings some chances for rain and some cooler temperatures. Not by much. We're going to stick with the 70s afterwards. So here's how your weekend forecast looks. 73 for your high on Saturday, again warming up for that, but 81 degrees on Sunday. So going to be above average for that day for you there. But looking at your 7-day forecast, here's again everything you need to know. Just a tiny bit of a chance of rain for tomorrow. We see 80s afterwards, and you see those clear sky conditions, a little bit of sun, clouds here and there, 70s after that cold front, but it's looking beautiful from here on out.
Thanks, Aiden. Now, we first brought this to you yesterday, but today we now know the names of the baby goslings at Goddard. We're going to show you a live look from Goddard Health Center right now where the parents Gus and Gertie are nesting their 5 goslings.
Right now, 3 out of the 5 have hatched, and yesterday the staff at Goddard had a vote to name them. And their names are?
The first one is Geese Witherspoon, that was born yesterday, Goose Willis, and Baby Goose Springsteen.
The last 2 are expected to hatch within the next couple of days. And now the final countdown begins for both Diamond Sports as postseason ball is right around the corner.
Plus, we have the heartfelt story about one athlete's path to the States and how his journey was just more than football. Big Friday Sports is next.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Come to an end, and today is no exception. I'm Michael Thompson. That's Chris Holman. Welcome to the final Big Friday Sports of the semester.
Speaking of endings, OU softball is wrapping up regular season play beginning last night. The Sooner Caravan rolled down to College Station for their last regular season series. In the top of the second inning, Ella Parker put Oklahoma up 4-0 with this 2-run blast. OU had a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th, but due to weather, the game was suspended. They resumed play earlier today at 12:50, where the Aggies scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, taking down the Sooners 8-5. First pitch for Game 2 was originally tonight at 5, but OU softball announced that due to weather, the game will not be played today, and instead they will play a doubleheader tomorrow.
Well, over to baseball, Chris. The Florida Gators enter Camry Family Stadium for the first time ever tonight, taking on Skip Johnson's squad after OU dropped their series to Auburn last week. And now, despite the loss, the play of sophomore second baseman Kyle Branch took the headlines with his stellar defensive play, and he says this weekend is business as usual.
Blink of an eye, feels like the season's just really gone by quick, but these last 3 are really important, and every game matters all year, really. But these last 3, it's really time to hone in and get ready for the postseason and give it your best. It's our goal from the get-go is we want to host and we want to win. And so I feel like this town, you know, they hosted 2 years ago, but we deserve to host.
The last time OU baseball played Florida, Jake Bennett pitched 2 innings of relief after a 5.5-hour weather delay. And earlier today, the Boston Red Sox announced that Bennett will be called up to start tonight against Houston. Well, some stories in sports transcend the actual game itself. OU Nightly sports reporter Hunter Cornejo has the remarkable story of Josiah Dickerson, full of hope and inspiration.
Washington running back Josiah Dickerson carries the pigskin for fun on Friday nights. Although over a decade ago, he could not have imagined having that opportunity. Josiah spent the first few years of his life in an orphanage over 6,000 miles away from Oklahoma in Accra, Ghana.
There's some days where I'm just like, what if I just escaped the orphanage? But the areas around the orphanage were not safe either, so I'm just like, orphanage, all I got to like be alive.
The orphanage was extremely rough, and Josiah even had to carry buckets of water for miles each day.
You try to survive the next day, try to figure out what you want that night. It was just very hard. And good thing God gave me good survival instinct skills. It was hard trusting the kids around me. Food was just hard to come by. Try to sneak out with some people to try to get food.
Josiah was able to get out of the orphanage thanks to his foster dad, Bernard, who is a social worker.
He got me out of the orphanage and got me to be able to be adopted. And it was all God's plan to go through that hard moment and then have someone right there to save me.
Adoption was always on the hearts of Kevin and Angie Dickerson. Through their church friends, they came in contact with Ghana and eventually Josiah.
The very first time we went over the previous year was the first time we met Bernard. So we were able to start building that relationship and that trust with him. And he was able to learn kind of what our understanding, what our expectations were of the adoption process.
Trust was hard to come by for Josiah, and that remained true when he first met his mom and dad, Kevin and Angie.
I haven't seen any white people ever in my life to that point, so it was definitely a big shock. Non-stop crying because I thought I got kidnapped, honestly, because I almost got kidnapped like twice in an orphanage, so it was difficult to trust anybody. When I realized I had food, water every single day, 3 meals a day, I was like, this is just fine if I'm getting kidnapped.
He was very independent. He knew how to do things that my 10-year-old didn't know how to do. And so then when he sees us, we're white, we don't look like him, we don't talk like him, he doesn't understand what we're saying. Pretty brutal, and he was screaming a lot and just wanting to be with his foster family, and it was very stressful.
It was heartbreaking.
Last March, Josiah was able to go on a journey around the globe. And as you can see here, we start at Washington High School, where Josiah was able to then fly back to Ghana for the first time since his adoption and leave a lasting impact on his hometown, building water wells and also meeting with his foster family.
It was amazing. I needed that trip back to get a reminder of where I came from, and it opened so many doors mentally for me. Just released so much tension I had. I got to see my foster brother David and my foster parents, Bernard, Fiancu, and Irene. It was just amazing to see them. Being able to like build water wells for kids that needed clean water was amazing. And I saw lots of kids that were in the same position as me when I was younger. I saw a lot of myself.
So the fact that he could go back and look at kids in the eyes and give them some kind of hope and friendship, saying, I've been where you are and God has a plan and you are going to be okay. And that was something that was very important to him.
The story of Josiah Dickerson is truly inspirational and will go far beyond the gridiron.
I'm more than a football player, and that my story doesn't define everything about me. Even when you start from the bottom, God knows a way to get you out of it and be the best version of yourself. So just trust in the process, and you'll turn out good.
Josiah wants to leave a lasting impact on his home country of Ghana, and even wants to start sports clinics for kids to be recruited in their respective sports. For OU Nightly, I'm Hunter Cornejo.
Great stuff, Hunter. Both OU gymnastics programs have a new and improved place to call home for their hardware. Coming up after the break, hear what the facility means for both programs going forward. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
To Big Friday Sports, everyone. It is a baseball weekend here in Oklahoma. OU plays at 6:30 tonight against Florida. We're going to be about 67 degrees for that first pitch. We've got Saturday and Sunday. We're finally going to be back into the mid and upper 70s for those games. So plenty of time to get outside and enjoy some OU baseball and definitely enjoy some sunshine before we head into finals week.
Thank you, Aiden. KJ Kindler and Mark Williams have won a combined 17 national championships for OU gymnastics and now have a renovated facility worthy of housing the hardware the pair have won.
OU Nightly's Darby McCormick is live at the facility's open house to explain why it's been a long time coming.
Yes, Michael and Chris, welcome to the Sam Viersen Center, home of both gymnastics programs within OU. We got to see some familiar faces within OU athletics as well as take a tour. And let me just say, it's a state-of-the-art center for two state-of-the-art teams.
These trophies represent fleeting moments when commitment, discipline, and hunger are finally rewarded. And as you walk through this facility, there's even more to feel. The attention to detail, the championship moments etched into the walls, the small personal touches that define excellence.
Now in 2026, the latest renovation in the gym brings the Sam Viersen facility to the top of all collegiate gymnastics programs in the country. From the locker rooms to the team suites, the team room, the fitness area, we now have the best training gym in the United States.
And the renovations come at the right time. The men's team finishing as national runner-ups for the first time since 2022, and the women back-to-back national champions. So, reporting from outside the Sam Viersen Center, this is Darby McCormick signing out from OU Nightly. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Darby. Both OU men's and women's tennis are hosting the opening rounds of the NCAA championships. The men are currently in action against Utah State, where the winner will face the winner of Duke and USC, and the women will start their run to the title on Saturday afternoon against Kansas. Now, Michael, we're both graduating. What's been your favorite memory here at OU Nightly?
Well, I got to go with Alabama, traveling there. Just truly spectacular. But, I mean, right now, come on, it's our last show. We get to do it together. It's just great. So it's been a great semester of Sooner Sports. Thank you for tuning in each day to the show that we love all so much. For one last time, I'm Michael Thompson.
And I'm Chris Holman. Be sure to tune in to OU Nightly next semester. Have a good night.